Hey guys, how you doing? So you ready to take a closer look at the rest of that video of the police interview of Christopher Watts' brother-in-law? I'll take a look at your comments first. New Orleans lady is ready. Mo is ready. New Orleans lady is saying, I was just sitting here wondering if Christopher Watts' brother-in-law's girlfriends knew he was trying to get them pregnant. I missed that. Where did you hear that he was trying to get them pregnant? Did he say that in the interview? Because I know I was in and out of the room a little bit, so I know I was kind of maybe missing a couple things. Was that in the interview at all? I'm out of the loop. M10 is laughing until they're crying. Mben and 10? I'm going to call you Ember, not Amber. That's a dirty word here. Ember. I just finished listening. Oops, it won't light up. I just finished listening to last night's live. Perfect timing. I'll just call you M. M says that interview was bizarre. It really was more like a therapy session filled with too much information. Sandy says, hey everyone. Private Pirate's here. Private Pirate says, wow, I'm early. Susie says, ready. Sandy says, hey, Private Pirate and Susie. Well, I checked the video, and fortunately, the little thingy is right where we did leave off because I thought, oh crap, I didn't write down any timestamp for sure. So it is right where we left off. Do you want to talk for just a minute about what we listened to yesterday? Rachel says, hi all. And I'm going to sneeze, I think. I think I have a sneeze ready. It might be a minute. No, maybe not. I thought so for a second there. Okay. Susie says, hey, Rachel. So thinking about yesterday, what stood out for anyone who was either at the live chat or who has watched that live chat video? Sandy says, bananas. I have no idea why Sandy said bananas. Maybe bananas help sneezing or something? Ah, M says he did say during the interview he had tried to have a baby with a girlfriend. Ah, okay. Yeah, I missed it then. Dang. Or maybe I heard it and it just didn't register because the other stuff I was hearing was like, what? So what do you guys think? Susie's in pajamas. Oh, Sandy says when you say bananas, it's supposed to make your sneeze go away. Oh, weird. I've never heard that. And I'm pretty old. Bananas. I think my dog just sneezed. I don't know. He's over in the other part of the living room, so I'm not sure. He either coughed or he sneezed. Say bananas. Oh, bananas and pajamas. Got it. I thought you were telling us your attire for the evening. Bananas and pajamas. Yeah, I haven't sneezed yet, so there must be something to it. But think about the stuff we talked about yesterday. The whole idea that he's telling law enforcement that he can't get the image out of his head. How did he get the image into his head? Does that make sense? My question? How is it that he can't get an image out of his head that was never in his head? Because if you're struggling to forget an image, does that make sense? I don't think we struggle to forget something we're imagining. I think we struggle to forget something that we've seen. So that comment, those statements, and it wasn't just one time either. I'll move my little cracker thing. Okay. At one point he said, quote, I see my sister in my head. I see my sister in my head. Well, here's the thing though. If you're struggling to forget the image, how did the image get in your head? I don't understand that. And don't forget, quote, as soon as I heard his truck back into the driveway. Well, how did he hear his truck back in to the driveway? That's the $1 million question. $1 million question. Let me turn the page here and see what else I have. What did he say? As hard as I knew in my head immediately, as soon as I heard his truck back into the driveway. How did he hear the truck back into the driveway? And he said all the doors were locked from the inside out. Her ring was on the counter. I see my sister in my head. You know, if he's listening to this live chat, if he wants to come right in and answer some of these questions for us, that'd be great. I doubt he ever will, but he's certainly welcome to if he wants to answer some questions. That would be really interesting, wouldn't it? And you know what? NA's certainly welcome also to answer some questions. That'd be really interesting. Ooh, here's another sneeze alert. If you put the nail of the pointing finger on the tip of the little finger, you can stop the sneeze. I've never heard that one either. Susie says it doesn't take a brain box to work that out. LOL. He said it in first person. If NA told his mother and his mother told his father and his father told him, or he overheard his mother and father talking about it, then how does he have a vision in his head? And wouldn't he relay it to law enforcement something like, yeah, my mom said that her ring was on the counter. Or my mom said, you know, I don't know, how would you say that in any other tense but first person? As soon as I heard his truck back into the driveway. I don't know. Something else that stands out from the first part that we've taken a closer look at so far is I don't like it, the negative bullshit against Cindy Watts. And I just want to put it out there, in my opinion, I think that Christopher Watts' wife, I think the person she most respected, I think the person she was closest to, besides her husband And I'm not saying she respected her husband, because I don't think she did. But I think the person she most respected, and I think the person she was closest to besides her husband, was Cindy Watts. I think we've been listening to 3 years of bullshit. Total bullshit. Cindy Watts told me that Ronnie reached out and left voicemail messages, and they never heard a word. But in that police interview, in the first part that we were listening to yesterday, it made it sound like Ronnie and Cindy were somehow not responding or whatever. Well, that isn't how Cindy Watts tells it. And you know what? I believe Cindy Watts. And remember, Christopher Watts' mother-in-law did a letter where she was like, that's it. She was through. She was done. She wasn't going to talk to Cindy Watts. And that happened back in like 2017, January, February. I think it was late February of 2017 when she and Christopher Watts' father-in-law suddenly left the house. I think Cindy Watts probably had as much or more contact, visits, babysitting, phone calls, shopping together, hanging out, celebrating holidays, birthdays, you know. I think Cindy Watts probably had the most time of all. When little Bella met baby Cece in the hospital, did you see Cindy Watts was there introducing little Bella to her baby sister, taking care of Bella? Well, Christopher Watts' wife was in the hospital. Smiling through her gritted teeth when Christopher Watts' wife insisted that she go along to the zoo. Instead of letting Bella have a special day, she had to have Christopher Watts pushing her in a wheelchair around the zoo. I think Cindy Watts treated her daughter-in-law with love and respect every step of the way, no matter what. And I think that Christopher Watts' wife tried her best to be normal, like Cindy Watts, to have a regular family like Cindy and Ronnie had, a marriage like Cindy and Ronnie had, a relationship like Cindy and Jamie had. Just my opinion. So I always get a little bit peeved when over and over again we hear these interviews with law enforcement, and it's, yeah, well, except for Cindy. Well, yeah, Ronnie cared about the kids. Yeah. Well, guess what? All you have to do is look at those videos showing Bella and Cece with Cindy, and you can tell they feel safe. They feel cared for. They aren't confused. They aren't getting yelled at. They're not being mocked or laughed at. They're being treated well by their grandparents, and you can tell that they are appreciating it. They're able to be children around Ronnie and Cindy. And when little Bella was afraid of everything, remember how Cindy Watts shared with us how little Bella was afraid of everything? The dirt. She was afraid of the dirt. She was probably not familiar at all with the dirt because she was getting shoved in bed at 6:30 p.m. after her night-night dose of Benadryl and Tylenol. So, dirt was probably like a new concept to her, right? But when little Bella was afraid of everything, the Watts family embraced her and helped her deal with her fears. And it didn't take long, and little Bella was having a ball. Nobody laughed at Bella. Nobody made fun of her. Nobody taunted her. So I just wanted to say that because I get so tired of hearing people bash Cindy Watts. So what do you think? Should we get started on the video? Everyone ready? Susie says it was Sandy that no pals with her daughter. I think that it was I think personally, my opinion, I think the friend was a caregiver. Susie says exactly the family she wanted growing up. I agree with that. I think that the Watts family represented what she wanted, and I think she just didn't know how to do it because I think she had serious issues going on. Serious issues. I think she needed help big time. But you guys are going to flip at this live chat because I'm not going to say who or what or anything like that. So don't even try. Because I know you guys are really good at asking me questions and I'm pretty gullible. But I'm not going to tell you. But I did communicate with somebody last night or this morning, whenever it was, or in the middle of the night after the live chat. And somebody, by the way, who's so much smarter than I am, so much more informed, so much more, like, I'm totally impressed. Very knowledgeable about the case of Christopher Watts. And this person communicated to me, what if it was moving day? Think about that. We have a police interview showing Christopher Watts' brother-in-law saying, as soon as I heard his truck back into the driveway. Em says she probably got yelled at if she ever got dirty. Honey, she never got dirty. She was in daycare all day long. She was in bed all evening and all night. She never got to just go out and play. She probably had zero experience with dirt. And you know, it's important for little girls to be able to take a little spoon and sprinkle a little bit of dirt on the crackers and the teacups and, you know. How do you have a proper tea party without being able to have some dirt? Right? Am I right? So think about it. As soon as I heard his truck back into the driveway, so now think of the brilliant one saying, what if it was moving day? Look at the house. Do you really think it looked like anybody was living there? You know, one of the first EBGB seconds that I had about this case was when I saw there was no refrigerator art. Why wasn't there any refrigerator art? Well, if that was moving day, then they would have packed away the refrigerator art. If that was moving day, then how many people were there to help? How many trucks were there? When was that ongoing family matter court hearing scheduled? And what was going to happen at that hearing? And what was that 5-week separation? And what was that March conversation in March with a lawyer all about whether or not kids could move out of state with a parent who got custody? What was that sudden need to have 2 children undergo surgery on the same day? Sudden need. What was the drive to get them diagnosed with asthma? And why was it that so many doctors said no, they don't have asthma? And then all of a sudden, they had a fill-in PA one day who evidently went ahead and said, yeah, okay, they do. How many doctors said no before that? And why? What was in the nebulizers? Why did Christopher Watt's wife tell a hairdresser, I think it was in the first couple of days of July, in North Carolina during her 5-week separation, that she was getting divorced and looking forward to being single again? Why is it that she stopped making the house payments? What was that, December of 2017? What if it was moving day? I think this person is flipping brilliant. What if it was moving day? And what if somebody decided she didn't want to move? What if the whole idea of her hanging back in North Carolina was nothing newsworthy, but she decided she wanted to head out there for moving day? Think about it. Think about all of the reasons why the flippin' brilliant one, I think, is right. Think about it. Moving day. Okay? Think of all the reasons why that theory makes sense. Moving day. How many people were there to help? How many vehicles were there to help? That would explain the empty house. And I'll say it again, no refrigerator art. The ongoing family matter. The 5-week separation. Telling the hairdresser she was getting divorced and looking forward to being single again. And how about what we learned in the first part of listening to the police interview of Christopher Watt's brother-in-law, when he said that he thinks that maybe Christopher Watt's wife said that she had spent those 5 weeks with another man. So for my list, I'll just put another man, ? And then think about that one post, drastic measures. DG says no kid art is very suspicious. Well, think about it. If it's moving day, you don't have refrigerator art. If it's moving day. And remember how she said, boy, tomorrow morning's really going to suck? It did, didn't it, Em? That house did look like it could be packed up and cleaned out in an afternoon. Exactly. Look at that garage. He was a master mechanic. That garage looked like he had already moved out. And think about this. The babysitter said that the room that Christopher Watt's wife used on the main floor was a mess. Maybe that was the last room to get organized, right? Yes, the tub's in the garage, Sandy. What if that was moving day? And like I said, what if somebody decided she didn't want to move? What if it was her day to be moved back to North Carolina? And she decided not to let that happen. Just saying. You guys ready to hop back into the video? See what we can see? Let's do it.
Yes, it was, I don't know. I was trying, as hard as I knew in my head, immediately. The train struck back in the driveway. All the doors were locked from the inside out. Someone had
It's buffering. I think it's getting ready for a commercial.
someone had to come into that garage. Someone had to leave to that garage. And that was the only way. And I immediately knew. And Shannon's stuff ripped off her bed. Her ring was on a counter. I see my sister in my head. I know my sister. I know she took her ring off, she's out of the house. We have everything. I just want my kids, and she probably took the kids and the phone and was going to walk out and maybe attack her onto the couch. And the girls were like, "Mommy, mommy," and and then I don't know. I got like 20 different scenarios that I built up in my head, but that's the only other way. I mean, because God knows. I've been mad enough to want to like not strangle anybody, but like be I don't know, like my ex-girlfriend, she put a hole on my arm. And I didn't do nothing, but boy, I was like so mad. I was like,
Okay, let me see here. Where are you guys? There you are. We listened to this part. I'm just transitioning, a little bit of overlap because we heard this part yesterday, and this is about where we left off yesterday. But he just said that his ex-girlfriend bit a hole in his arm. Have any of you women ever bit a hole in anybody's arm? Have you ever known of anyone who bit a hole in somebody's arm? Or who had somebody bite a hole in their arm? I don't know. Do you think somebody just walked in the door and decided to go bite a hole in somebody's arm? That seemed interesting. It kind of makes you wonder what happened leading up to somebody biting a hole in his arm.
he says, "What's wrong with you?" I took her phone. I just was doing like this. I was playing with her. She's like, bit a hole. I have a scar. I'll show you. And she bit a hole in my arm. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, he took her phone away. And he says he was just playing with it, and she bit a hole in his arm. He took her phone away. Really?
But never. And I don't know. She would do that. Done that for a fact. I've lived that my whole life. How often did you talk to Shannon? Not as much as I wish. She posted every day. Yeah. So I would.
The police officer asked, "How often did you talk to Shannon?" And he said, "Not as often as I wish." We talked about this yesterday, right? And he said that she posted every day on social media, and then he would, respond. But I've looked at a lot of those posts, as in hundreds of them. I don't remember seeing him respond. If he did, I think it was just very few times. And it sounds like that's when they communicated, was he would respond to her posts on Facebook.
Comment and love and, do that. And it seemed like more often I would, like here recently before she came, I guess, because I guess I knew she was coming, and I always loved the girls' pictures and things like that. And I don't know, it's hard to remember back. I didn't really pay attention to much. I just went with the flow. My life is a whole nother crazy mess. So, trying to remember and it's, I don't know. But I don't know. They said there's like someone we could talk to here, like a psychiatrist or whatever.
Keep in mind the question that was asked by the police officer was, how often did you talk to Shannon? How often did you talk to Shannon? Not as often as I wish, and she'd post on Facebook and pictures and this and that. I wonder when the last time he actually spoke with her was.
Not a psychiatrist, but I mean, we had a family doctor at home that they all got to see before they left. I don't have one, and I mean, I don't need to go see a therapist. I would like some medication or something because I don't sleep. I don't eat. It's getting worse. I'm sure you can see under my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy, really, in my head. I mean, I'm fine mentally, but you know what I mean. It's just.
This is a tough thing. This will wear on anybody. So
it's gonna be years.
You gotta take care of yourself, man. If you need to go see somebody,
go
see somebody.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll be home in a few days. We'll do something. Because I got back problems. I got spinal stenosis and neck problems, just like Shannon did. And, it's been killing me. I don't know what the heck it is. Again, when I look to the right, I gotta do this, but that's at least my worries. I can fall apart. I don't care. I'm gonna get this solved, get it just deserved. You can do. So
we're doing the best that we can.
I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody's help. My post, I said at the call for dragging it. I was mad. I'm sorry.
No, I
didn't know. I know. And now
we understand. Yeah.
And I was so mad.
We're used to it.
I know. And I've done against cop. There was a bunch of cop friends.
No offense taken.
I just didn't. I wanted to be found sooner, because I want to be able to see them again. Hug them.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them like they are now, which I'm probably going to, but it's gonna be rough. But I don't know. I don't remember them like that. So I don't know, because I already have enough in my head.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them, and I don't know why. It's like every time someone asks me, "Hey, what do you think happened?" It's like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
I see it. It's like my playing.
Whoa. Every time anybody asks me, what do you think happened? And I think to say, oh, there we go. And I see it.
It's weird. And then, I don't know if my dad told you, but the day we got here, we dropped off our stuff. We went downstairs and got off the elevator, and boom, there's a girl standing there, identical to my sister. I've never seen anybody ever look like my sister. I have a picture. I took a picture of her. And my dad, I look over and every goosebump in his body was standing up. His hair was sticking up this high. And I wanted to run up to her and be like, "Are you with us?"
His hair was sticking up this high?
Are you playing?
Yeah.
This is fake. And I went over and I literally had to go over and look at her face. And I was like, damn, too bad.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah. And then we went to the gas station to get some lighters, and this little homeless guy just walked around, and he was like, "Stay strong." I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I believe in things like that."
Yeah.
He was. I got a friend. Every time you hear that, it's my friend request.
Friend request.
I even changed it to friend of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's interesting that he's saying that he can't have kids, that he has some kind of a mental health issue. I think he said depression yesterday. When we listened to it yesterday, I think it was depression for 2 years, and then it was depression for 4 years. And now he's saying he has the same neck condition that Christopher Watt's wife had. But then it sounds like he's saying he doesn't have a doctor. So how does he get all those diagnoses going? It makes you wonder, did Christopher Watt's wife actually have a doctor herself, or did she just kind of come up with all those diagnoses on her own? I don't know.
It's so ridiculous.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, she had the same outfit, same hair, stuff here, jet black. I mean, same type shirt, same spandex pants,
Really?
flip flops. I mean, it was her. It was.
You get the sign.
I know. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it's like my dad said, she's down, she's here with us,
Yeah.
But I already knew that. But it was like I felt better. I was real sad at the moment, but I felt better. Like when we left, I was like, okay. But it comes and it goes. 1 second I'm like, I forget all about it, and then I see it on TV or I look at my phone.
You guys, I have a question. This is a police interview, isn't it? Is this a police interview? Was he supposed to be getting interviewed by the police? How many questions has the officer asked him? How often did you talk to her? Did you notice anything different? Right? What is with all this information? Yeah, when we got off the elevator, there was someone standing there who looked just like her and had the same clothes and the spandex pants. And yeah, bit of hole in my arm. Not the lady at the elevator, the ex-girlfriend. I don't understand. Why is the police officer not asking questions? Why isn't he expecting, I guess, any real information? Like, I have a couple of questions I might have asked. What's your date of birth? What's your sister's date of birth? So how many years were you apart in school? Oh, 1 year? Okay. So what year did you graduate? What year did your sister graduate? Okay, did you go on to college? Oh. Did your sister go on to college? What year did she get married? Oh. Did she have any children that you know of? Did she have any, pregnancies when she was a teenager? Any children when she was younger? Did she have a lot of friends? How did she get along with your parents? When was the last time you saw her? When was the last time you spoke to her? Did your sister use drugs, illegal drugs, that you're aware of? Did she ever get into any kind of trouble that you're aware of? Did she know any shady characters? What did you first think when you heard that she was missing? Has this ever happened before? Has she ever gone missing before? Tell me about your sister's temper. Your dad said that she had very strong legs. How would anyone know she had strong legs? Did she kick people? And I don't know. Those are just a few questions. Pretty much what I'm hearing is law enforcement going, oh, uh-huh, oh, uh-huh, oh, uh-huh. Rachel says they were about to lose the house. Okay, what if it was moving day? What if they were going to hightail it out of there? And speaking of the house, why is it people are saying that the house is caught in legal limbo? Why is the house caught in legal limbo? It was scheduled, I think, 2 different times to be auctioned off, and then poof, it got canceled. Why did it get canceled? Could it be somebody doesn't want somebody to buy the house and maybe pull the plumbing and do a little forensic testing? I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't think that's legal limbo. Maybe the department should actually go in there and do some heavy duty forensic testing. Maybe look at the house still sitting there as a gift for them to still be able to go in and do some more testing. They have the brother-in-law of Christopher Watts saying that he heard Christopher Watts backing the truck into the driveway. Did they gather up those cigarettes? Did they do any testing on those cigarette butts? Would that explain the Nate neighbor? How he knew all about the diabetes? Was Nate maybe going to help on moving day? Is that why he was hanging around the house? Is that why the friend was trying to get a hold of her so early in the morning? How many people were lined up to help if it was moving day? How many people were staying at the house if it was moving day? How many people were maybe staying at other places and then showing up early in the morning if it was moving day? Who paid for the moving truck? Why would there have been a moving truck all set? Why would there have been a storage unit all set? Why is there, I mean, people are claiming that her stuff's still in storage. Why? Well, remember the court hearing for an ongoing family matter. What if that marriage was already done? What if that marriage was already over long before she made the video with the little pea stick? What if? What if we've been getting lied to for 3 years straight about every detail of this case? What if there was somebody who didn't want to have to go to that hearing for the ongoing family matter? What if there's somebody who didn't want to have to move out of the house on moving day? Cindy Watts said that her son told her that the last thing he remembers her saying is, "I'm going to make you pay for this, and you're never going to see the girls again." I think that is the last thing that he heard her say. And I think he walked out that door and backed the truck up into the driveway. And I think all hell broke loose at that point. The question I have at this point is how many people were in the house? You Are My Sunshine says, I'm lost with the moving day theory. Well, take a look at the house, You Are My Sunshine. Take a look at the house. Did it look like anybody lived there? Was there any refrigerator art? Did it look pretty empty? And stuff was packed up. And remember how he wanted to take someone to the airport and she said, not until you get the basement finished? Maybe he was finishing the packing. Maybe that house was already packed up and ready before she went on the separation. Yeah, I got that, JL Marie. I got that when I read it. I thought, I think she meant Laud. Oh, Jeanette, is that what he said? The strong legs that could kick you across the room? Well, well, well. Think about it, you guys. What happens on moving day? Lots of people are there with their trucks, right? And you know, if you own a pickup truck, you're everybody's best friend on moving day. So who was in the house? You know what I'd like to see besides a discovery packet on the case of Christopher Watts? I'd like to see an actual investigation report on the murder of Bella. I'd like to actually see an investigative report on the murder of Cece. We don't need to be insulted with a bunch of hoopla about whether or not he was doinking a coworker. 2 children were murdered in what should have been the safety of their own home. Where is the investigation into their murders? Where is the full disclosure on the investigation into their murders? Flip-flops. Oh, yeah, we hear all about flip-flops. MLMs. Yeah, oh, yeah, we hear all about MLMs. Oh, lupus. Oh, we hear all about lupus. What about Bella? What about Cece? Where's the evidence from underneath their fingernails? Where's the DNA from around their necks or their bedrooms, in their bedrooms, any fingerprints or whatever? Where's the evidence specific to the murders of Bella and Cece? Oh, yeah, it was decomposition. She wasn't drinking. No, that would have been due to decomposition. I don't care about that. What I care about is that 2 little girls were murdered. Where's the investigation? Look through Discovery. Where's the investigation? You have a team who evidently learned from the autopsy report that the girls were healthy, but learned from the quote-unquote friends that they interviewed, ignoring the grandparents on the Watts side, ignoring them, ignoring Cindy Watts. But they ask all these people, some of them barely knew them at all or had never met Christopher Watts and barely had met his wife. And they're full of all sorts of opinions, right? What about Bella and Cece? They're telling law enforcement, oh, she had diabetes. Oh, no, she didn't. And I highly doubt she had lupus. I highly doubt she had fibro. I highly doubt she had endo. Highly doubt she had anything physically wrong with her. And look at over the last 3 years. Anybody discussing this case? Ooh, she's dead. She can't defend herself. Well, who can defend Cindy Watts? Is Cindy Watts supposed to stand up to hundreds of people attacking her? It's absurd. What about Bella and Cece? When will children matter more than whether or not someone was getting drunk at the airport during a layover or during a delay? There, my rant's over. I'll go ahead and click on it again. I think I will. I'm clicking and it's not. There we go. Ah, where is it? Where is it? It's not coming up. That's weird. It's not coming up. Okay, I'll have to find it again. I have no idea what, I don't know where it went. I'll find it. Here it is. I found it. Okay. Ready, guys? Here we go.
Or look at my phone, or you know, I have a tattoo up with about her. You know, the loop. Lupus ribbon. I got. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I got it. That was the first one. My dad got one. My mom.
I saw your dad.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it just says Shanann. And,
Yeah.
but I got it before our first lupus walk that we did, and I just come back to shower, and it was so sore. Oh my God! The guy that did it was like 400 pounds.
Oh, really?
He sucked. It's all awful. It's got to be redone. And he was. I swear, I could feel it. My whole rib cage, like I felt like it was tattooing my nipple. I guess because
Yeah.
of my nerve endings. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. But she was like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you put it there?" I said, "Well, they said the worst place to put it was right there." And I said, "I want to feel some of the pain that you do."
Yeah.
You know. And she said, "Well, why there?" I said, "Well, close to my heart." You know. And I said, "Eventually, when you have kids, I'll put them there." You know. And she's like, "Oh," and she cried, and we hugged, and you know, it hurt for hell. It hurt like hell for days. But I don't regret it ever. I'll never regret it. Like that one here from my cousin that died 15 years ago. You know, it's like my ex-girlfriend in Canada said, you know, I've never seen anybody go through as much as you have in your life. I mean, I've been to at least 50 funerals in my lifetime. You know, friends, family. I got no grandparents. No, I mean, I got one best friend, you know, but it's pretty crazy. People ODing all the time, you know. Old friends or car accidents. You know, so my cousin died in a car accident. He was 24. But July 27th, he'd have been 38. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a wild
Been
ride.
rough, huh?
Yeah, I never thought this would happen.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna take your ankle out and my sister, God, that would have killed me. But man, you know, these poor little kids had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with anything ever. They're so happy and so full of life.
Yeah.
It's just so weird that Bella, you know, she was hugging the hell out of me before they left. And she didn't do that the whole time. The whole time she would not let me go. And she's being silly. She was like, Uncle Frankie's in the house. She was like deeping in her voice.
Yeah.
Oh man, it made me melt. You know, even her just when they say Uncle Frankie or even Frankie, I didn't care. You know, they didn't call me Uncle. You know, but Cece, it's too much for her to say Uncle. She's like Frankie, Uncle Frankie. But But Bella, she was just a kind hearted. She was gonna be like me, I think, you know. And Cece was gonna get her some trouble.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
It sounds like it.
That she's a little adrenaline junkie. She's gonna jump out of airplanes. She was fearless, very fearless. If there was a snake, ooh, snake, you know, she wasn't scared of anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are the good memories, man. Those are the ones you want to hold on to.
Yeah, I wish I could have got to know more, you know. But thanks to Shannon and Facebook, I got to see them grow up, you know. So I'm glad she did that. I mean, there's millions and millions of pictures.
Yeah.
She loves those kids. All she did was take pictures. And that one picture I have of my Facebook cover, it's 4th of July. We were getting ready, and I was like, let me go get ready first before you take a picture. She's like, no, they look so cute. Let's take a picture real quick. I'm like, no, Dad, please, you know. It's like, please, I won't post it. Okay. And she posted it, and everyone loved it, so I like screw it, you know. And you know, I wanted to be red, white, and blue like they were. I wanted to dress up for 4th of July, you know, take them out and carry them, go see fireworks. And we get there, and it's poured down rain. We missed the fireworks.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we had to go back home. But I recorded them on my phone for the girls, and they were like, they'd be upset if you seen them without them. I was like, well, I mean, they all left. Like I met them there, and when we got there, we were all hiding underneath the tent, and my dad was holding Bella, and my mom was holding Cece, or Shannon was, one or the other. And I mean, it was coming down like out of nowhere. And I thought it was gonna cancel fireworks. It was so bad. And everyone left, and I went to go to Panera Bread. I'm pretty sure you guys go to Panera Bread. I went to go get some broccoli soup for everybody, and I was just gonna go home. I was like, well, I'll clear it up. I said, I want to go see the fireworks. It's only gonna be 30 minutes anyway. So I stopped there, and I was like, I'm gonna go to Pretty Girls. I don't even think I even watched it because I was so busy trying to record it. Yeah, and they get to the house, and she was like, no, man, they would be big. You seen them without them? I was like, oh shit. I can say someone sent it to me, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't even think we ever showed them, you know. But the broccoli soup. I was like, can Cece have this? She was like, I don't know what's in it. I was like, I don't know. Like, I have to look up the ingredients. I mean, she was that worried. Any little thing. Ever since she had the epileptic shock, whatever you want to call it, she's been scared to death. And she, you know, she was a nervous wreck constantly. And she followed every little thing she did. We put
There's an interesting little mention about the allergies, right? He wondered if Cece could have the broccoli soup from Panera, and she said, well, I don't know. And then he said, ever since Cece had the epileptic shock, I think he meant anaphylactic shock, which I don't think she ever had. I think that was Christopher Watt's wife making up stories.
everything up that she couldn't eat, you know, and we bought everything she could put on her level. So if she wanted to grab something, it'd be something she wanted. And she was like everything she would read. If I had candy, and I'm like, hey, can I give them a piece? And she'd let me see it. And she'd read every little word, you know. And so that's why I mean, you can watch one video and know she didn't do it, you know. So, other than that, you know, other than that, that's all I really know.
And also, do you think of any questions that we haven't asked you?
No, just what people say. You know, if they thought that he was cheating, and as Shannon said, well, if he's cheating, he doesn't have any game or something like that. So it would be something you should say, you know. But
She never said anything to you about it?
I wish you did. You know, I wish. Because, you know, I don't know what I could have done, but I don't know. I would have busted his ass in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And got it out of him, that's for sure. No matter how big he got, I ain't scared of nobody, especially for my sister. You know how many fights I've gotten to for my sister, how many times I got beat up because of my sister. You know, guys are men in schools here. You know, they're pins, they're actually pins, not stickers. They're poking her on the school bus, they're poking her. And I'm like, so leave my sister, a bunch of black boys. I was like, leave her the hell alone, you know? She said, stop. I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna do something about it. And they like grabbed all their books and they like hit me on the head. That's probably why I got a neck problem. And they just stomped me out on the bus right then and there. And the bus driver, they didn't do nothing. Yeah. But you know, I didn't care. I'd do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my sister. It's my only sister. and she took me to her senior prom because I didn't have a date. You know who does that?
Oh, really?
Senior prom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hold
she
up,
was loved
hold
by
up,
many
hold
men.
up. That doesn't make
Any guy would want
sense.
to do.
He just said she took me to her senior prom because I didn't have a date. She took me to her senior prom because I didn't have a date. If it's her senior prom, what did he need a date for?
And they were upset today that she took me to see them, but I was proud, yeah. And she always got me girls to dance with, and all her older girlfriends and things. So I was like, I had it made growing up. I did, yeah. I like dated all her friends. She's like, what friend did you date? You know, like I don't know. There's quite a couple. I still can, you know. But yeah, I'd never do nothing. Nothing. If I did, I'd tell you. I promise I would. But nothing, because anything I could say that to help, I would, because I'd put him under the jail if I could. But I wish I did.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to talk to us. I know it's not easy.
Thanks for
I
trying
can
everything.
imagine what you're really going through. So.
And I'm sorry for, like I told the coroner, but I'm sorry what you guys had to see and do, and whoever had to find them. I can only imagine they got to see that in their head, you know. Appreciate it. And I couldn't imagine. I feel sorry for everybody involved. You know,
Thank you.
I'm watching people on the news crying that I don't even know who the heck they are. They don't know who they are and crying. I mean, it means a lot. It did. Like the kid last night, he said, he said something about what if one girl seen the other girl, it happening to them. He starts breaking down. I was breaking down. I'm like, man, this poor kid. He just got off work, but I went by just to dump off a baby bear, and all these kids were dropping off their favorite toys.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh man, I wish we could give it back to them and say the girls want you guys to have
right.
You know, but
touched a lot of lives.
Yeah, we're gonna donate them to the St. Jude or something.
Oh, nice.
Give all the babies, all the bears and stuff, all
Yeah.
the things that can be salvaged. You know. Because, what else are we going to do? I mean, we took a couple of things that we could, some cards and things, but, I'd like to have some of their things,
right?
Like their blankets and things,
right.
But, I mean, it's the yard's getting bigger and bigger. They keep piling stuff up. Every time, it keeps breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go there so bad. I want to go in the house.
Yeah.
I do. As bad as I know what happened in that house, it's probably going to hit me, but my sister loved her house. She worked very hard for what she had. And before she got with Chris, she was very wealthy. She had a huge house in Charlotte.
Okay, here we go. Before she got with Chris, she was very wealthy. Are you kidding me? And she worked very hard for what she had? They didn't have anything. They were broke. They didn't own a car. 2 adults in their 30s and they didn't own a car. Ellen says maybe it would have been his junior prom. Well, except he said it was her senior prom. So I don't know why it would have been his junior prom if he's saying it was her senior prom. But let's hear about how she was wealthy before she hooked up with Chris.
Look it up. Huge house. I mean, she did all on her own. She was making almost $500,000 a year.
Oh! Did you hear that? She did it all on her own, and she was making almost $500,000 a year. That's why she put less than 5% down on the house and sold it in a big hurry.
Years old, like 22 years old. She's been very good. She was very, very smart. She was very business savvy. It's like I said,
she's very smart with business savvy. Are you kidding me? Her vocabulary was absolutely limited. And do you guys know that in the first part of this video, at one point he referred to her as a nurse? He didn't say she was a nurse, but it was when he talked about living at the house for a month or a month and a half. And he said something like, yeah, take care of me, nurse, or something like that. I thought, oh, there's a nurse reference. That's been going on right from the start, too. But anyway, let's go. Making almost $500,000 a year at age 22 and very smart with business savvy. Are you kidding me? You're kidding.
Sell ketchup to a ketchup factory. She could.
What?
I don't know.
Did he just say she could sell ketchup right back to you? She could sell ketchup right back to you? What? I've never heard that phrase before. She could sell ketchup right back to you. Huh.
How she did it. I mean, I know she's pretty, but she could talk the talk and
Yeah.
you know. So, and I was, I had a lot to keep up with, the competition.
Right.
You know, just made me look bad because I remember my mom and dad's house, and here you are in 2 houses already, 2 kids. Working on your 3rd, married, happy. And the wedding. If you watch the wedding video, I mean, it would kill you. And they're so happy. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, he was so awkward. He did like this little. He tried to do this Magic Mike dance, and he's so awkward.
Oh,
But he
really?
did it all for her, and yeah, what a goofball. But I maybe it made us all love him more. He did
Right.
it just for her.
Right.
Who cared was watching. And he's shy like me. I'm a shy guy. I probably would never do that. I want to talk about her. But I don't know. I met one that loved me as much as I love them yet. So we'll see. But yeah, that was. I don't know. And it's whoever made the video, whoever she had to edit and stuff, was fantastic. They did a fantastic job. They did. And I don't know if I'll be able to watch it again, but
Yeah.
it's a good one. And his family didn't come to the wedding. They didn't come to Cece's birthday. That's something she had a lot. Not for her, but for Cece. That's something they're gonna remember.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Here we go. His parents didn't come to the wedding, and they didn't come to Cece's birthday party, and, poor Cece. Are you kidding me? Maybe Christopher Watt's wife should have not been, firing the bridesmaids, firing the flower girl, having a nut meltdown, attacking her mother-in-law. If I was Cindy Watts, I would have dialed 911 and gotten an ambulance for her. Pronto.
But that's something they're gonna regret forever now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We still have those memories.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I appreciate you talking to us.
No problem.
That noise wasn't me on this end. That's them turning off the video or the audio or whatever for that. There, that's the end of it. So, 22 years old, she was making $500,000. $500,000. And she had business savvy. She didn't even have a vocabulary. I don't know where her business savvy was. Hey guys. Oh, I've got up at 4:20 this morning. And I've already, I've organized the basement and the closets. I mean, that is not business savvy. Would you buy anything from that? No, you wouldn't. Mo says, to be honest, he really did. He thought she was doing well. But think about it. It sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like he didn't even see her for 4 years. It sounds like the last time you saw her was in December of 2014 or in August of 2014. So it sounds like he didn't even see her for 4 years. But Sandy, you're assuming that people were actually buying Thrive. I don't think they were. Sandy says more like super manipulation skills to get people to buy Thrive. I think we've been lied to for 3 years. I don't think she was successful. I don't think she ever made a dime. I think she was on disability. And I think she had a stack of credit cards. Kay Cooper says, Happy Halloween, y'all. Three of a Kind says he'd only just met Cece for the very first time right before their deaths. And basically Bella too. Because Bella would have been, 8 months old when he saw her. If he hadn't seen his sister for 4 years, then why are we being told they were so close and together all the time? If he hadn't seen Bella since she was 8 months old, possibly 12 months old, if he had never met Cece, if he hadn't seen his sister for 4 years, then why are we being told that they were so close, they were always together? Saint says all of the Thrive she sold was in the basement. I think all of the Thrive exactly. She was her own best customer. I do not believe she ever made a dime on any of the MLM activities she was up to. I don't believe it. I think she was broke all of her life except for whatever she raked in off of her disability check and whatever she may have gotten from a certain part-time job she had off and on through the years. This too shall pass, said, did he come to Colorado? It sounds like he was there July 1st of 2014 until August of 2014. I do not believe she ever actually held down any employment. I think she was on disability. And I think that she had friends, one or two, who she could work for, and I'm putting work in quotation marks, the word work, and who maybe helped her with paperwork to try to qualify for a special deal on a less than 5% down for a house. I think she was totally scamming Christopher Watts from the day they met. I think she was scamming him, and I think she was conning him. And keep in mind, she even got his parents and his family members to buy products from the MLM she had signed up for. Shalina says, hey, Miss M, keep up the good fight. Just stop by to say hi. Hi, Shalina. Kay Cooper says, it's my favorite time of the year. You know, if summer came after fall, it would be my favorite too. I do not believe she was ever a successful business person. I don't believe she was ever a successful employee. I don't think she ever had an income. I think she had a disability check. I think she knew how to work the system. And I think she knew about getting the kids on the system too, and what that would mean for her monthly check. Ew, Susie. Susie's obsessed with skulls. I didn't know that. That's scary. That's kind of like Jeffrey Dahmer-like, isn't it? Kay Cooper says, Susie, I'm glad I'm not the only one that pretends it's Halloween all year round. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you guys are revealing something here. Mo says, Ellen K, she charged her parents $1,000 a month to live in the basement. Are you sure about that, Mo? Are you sure about that? Oh no, this too shall pass has skulls too. Uh-oh, you guys are creeping me out. Creeping me out. Three of a Kind says, I read a blog written by Curious Case and it blew my mind. Oh, you don't have to screen share with me. She was actually the person doing the research for me in the first year. And I encouraged her over and over again to start her own channel. And she decided to start with that blog instead. So, yeah, you don't have to share with me because if you read it, you might kind of catch a hint of Miss Mensa in there. Mo says, sure am. So you were convinced that she was actually, that her parents were paying $1,000 a month? I don't think so. But I'm pretty, skeptical. Especially since we're told that we're being lied to. And, maybe they don't use those words, but when they say that we'll never know the truth, then that tells me we're being lied to. Right? I kind of doubt, and I think Christopher Watts even said that it was really difficult when they first moved there because they didn't have jobs and they were there at the house all the time. So if they didn't have jobs, I don't know how they would have paid any rent. New Orleans says, sorry, company stopped by. Yes, he told the cops he couldn't have kids and he had girlfriends that he tried to get pregnant. So I wonder who diagnosed him. I wonder if it's, some kind of self-diagnosis thing. Because you know how Christopher Watts supposedly had cancer, that Christopher Watts' wife, saved his life because she detected it early, except Christopher Watts evidently never knew he had cancer. Sandy says they lived with friends, too, for a while. I don't think they were living with friends. I think they were living with a nurse who went on to specialize in psychology. I think that was part of a caregiving program. Remember, they met on care.com. Ellen Kay says, I could see her charging her parents to pay her mortgage. Not me. I think she was set up on the disability train. You guys are cute. We're all loving the fall weather, aren't we? Yesterday was so pretty with the sun shining and the colors. The colors are super bright. J.L. Murray says Shannon smothered both girls. I believe she did. That's my opinion. I don't know how it seems to be such a huge leap for people to consider that when she posted one photo after another of those poor babies sleeping with their faces covered with pillows and blankets, one right after another. Are we the only channel who is noticing that? Drugging them to put them to bed? Giving them lots of Tylenol? Trying your damnedest to get somebody to say they had asthma? And then locking them in their bedrooms after drugging them? What was she going for? Like accidental crib death or something? Was she trying to convince her faithful few followers that they actually like to sleep with blankets over their faces? So just in case she did off them, that she might try to say, oh, well, they like to sleep with blankets over their faces. Look at these pictures. All these people are going boo-hoo, baha about the NK routine, right? Which has already been proven total bunko 3 years ago. Okay. Why aren't they going boohoo baha? What about an investigation on who murdered Bella and Cece? Where are those fingernail scrapings? Where is the DNA? And why is it such a big deal about who fathered that supposed pregnancy? Why is that such a big deal if it's not a big deal? Or is it a big deal? Tamara says, didn't know about the blankets over the faces. How can you not know that? Let me see if I can find it for you guys. I'll link it here. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'll find it here. Let's see. But if I can, I'll link it here. Here it is. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. That's a live chat about it. Did I play the photo op video, maybe? Maybe I did, because I labeled it a live chat photo app. Or photo op, not photo app. Yep, it's in there. Okay, here it is. Okie dokie. Copy. Here you go, guys. Paste. There you go, whoever wanted it. Take a look at those pictures and you tell me what really happened. Yeah, you do. You just do the @ symbol and then you don't do anything. You right away go with the name. It isn't lighting up. It must not work for me. Weird. Mine isn't lighting up. I tried, but it won't light up. So if you follow that link that I just put in there, then you'll see a little bit of what we're talking about. She posted photos where those babies were supposedly sleeping. And remember, she liked to drug them. And remember, they were stuck in locked bedrooms. If those children, if either one of them actually did have any sort of allergy or any sort of asthma issue, then they sure as hell shouldn't have been drugged at bedtime, and they sure as hell shouldn't be drugged at all. And they sure as hell should have never been kept in a locked bedroom. If a child is suffering from asthma, they need to be able to reach out for help if they can't breathe. They sure as hell don't need heavy blankets and pillows in their beds. And they sure as hell don't need to have a mother taking their picture when she walks in and sees their faces covered when they're sleeping. Do I think that Christopher Watts was telling the truth when he said he did not murder his children, Bella and Cece Watts? Yes, I do. I don't think Christopher Watts murdered anybody. Personally, I think there should be an investigation into the murders of Bella and Cece Watts, because I have yet to see anything at all in that discovery that convinces me that the murders of 2 innocent children were ever fully investigated by the police. Hey, Sapphire, good morning. We're going to take a look at the video titled Photo Op. That was my voice from another video. I think that the idea that two little girls can be murdered, that their father sits there and says that he did not murder them, and then the law enforcement officers evidently went on social media and said, oh, yeah, he confessed. Yeah. I think she said something like she looked in the eye of evil or something that day. She looked in the eyes of evil or something along those lines. I've never heard of a law enforcement officer talking about an open active case on social media or her spouse talking about an open active case on social media and then getting the details wrong and running with it. No, little star, that is not the author of the true crime case, of the curious case of Christopher Watts you're talking about. Are you talking about the curious case or another one? Bella and Cece should be mattering a hell of a lot more than whether or not people want to pretend that Christopher Watts' wife was some kind of an MLM queen. If she made any money at all, then why did she in North Carolina for 5 weeks straight? If she made any money at all, then why was she supposedly concerned about being out of network? If she made any money at all, why didn't she get a rental car and take the kids on some kind of little excursion? Oh, wait, I don't think that was allowed, was it? Kay Cooper says, I fully believe that CW's very first confession was the absolute truth. I don't, because I don't think he killed her. Rachel says she was never a nurse. I think she had a sugar daddy. I don't even think she had a sugar daddy. I think she was an on the side something or other. Exactly, Kay Cooper. How odd that she didn't drive her precious car that she got for free. Christopher Watts said she got it for free. Boy, he was so gullible. But that gives some insight, doesn't it? She got the car for free. Sophia said, took the twins shopping after breakfast and just got home and there's still dishes in the sink. No way she did all that. I'm busting my ass to keep up. She didn't do diddle. She sat home. She sat home and played on the computer while other people were raising her kids and while Christopher Watts was working to support everybody. Alan Kay says, who goes on vacation for 5 weeks? I don't think it was a vacation. I think that marriage was already over. I think the separation had already started. When she first got there, she told a hairstylist that she was getting divorced and looking forward to being single again. So there you go. That marriage was over. All this crap about Christopher Watts cheating on her, bullshit. Christopher Watts was not cheating on her. That marriage was over. And remember, her own brother suggested the possibility that while she was fighting with Christopher Watts, that she may have said to Christopher Watts that over the summer, those 5 weeks, that she spent that time with another man. So where did that idea come from? That marriage was done. Finito. Adios. Over. Little Star said that she first thought it was me. No, the Curious Case blog, the person who writes that blog, was researching for our channel for like the first year. She's great. She's super smart, super detailed. She has everything organized. She knows this case really well. I tried to talk her into having her own channel. You know, good on her that she decided not to with all the scumbag attackers, right? Good on her. That blog's a good decision. Brooks says, if she had fibroendo, blah, 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 don't you think she would have qualified for a handicap parking label for the windshield of the Lexus? Brooks, she did have a handicap tag. She was on disability, I'll betcha. And I'll betcha that was her only income. There's yawn number 2, guys. Remember what I do on yawn number 3. We go ahead and say goodnight because, well, you know what? It's not that late here now. But I was up late last night with that live and then talking afterwards. Yes, 3 of a kind. She is very clever, very smart. Like when I would say to her, hey, do you know that one photo with Bella having, trying to stick something, one of her toys, you know what I'm saying? She'd say, give me a minute, and poof, she'd send it. She knew right where everything was. She organized everything. She was really smart. Kay Cooper says, SW thought way too highly of herself and wanted others to not only take care of her fully, but also fully take care of her own kids. Absolutely sickening. I think she was actually very insecure and was searching desperately for trying to figure out how adults are supposed to act. And I don't think she knew how. You Are My Sunshine says, I think NK killed the girls, CW killed his wife. I don't believe that at all. I think that CW's wife killed the kids and herself. J.L. Murray says she ran from North Carolina. Well, if she was making $500,000 a year, I don't know why she'd run. Oh, wait. She wasn't making $500,000 a year. Susie says NK wasn't involved at all, in my opinion. I agree with that completely. Rachel says he first met Cece on the trip to North Carolina. Yep. Sophia says, I don't know why everyone thinks it's NK. The other woman never cares about his kids and his wife. She knows she's the other woman. Well, I don't even think she was the other woman. I'm going to turn this whole idea that he was doinking and, committing adultery or whatever right on its head. I think that marriage was already over. I think she was already seeing someone who she thought she could hook up with that summer. And I don't think she gave one hoot about whether or not he was doinking anybody. I think that marriage was done and over. I don't think he was cheating on her. I think he was honest with the woman from work when he said that they were splitting. He was getting an apartment, whatever. I don't think that's adultery. Sorry. If the marriage is over, and if the wife is already hanging out with who knows who, right? Remember the drastic measures thing, right? Then, enough of calling him an adulterer. Enough of following along the baloney, whatever that word that means. Enough with following along with the baloney story that he wanted to trade everything in or whatever, get rid of his family so he could run a baloney. People don't murder their wife and children so they can doink the coworker. I mean, he was already doinking the coworker anyway. Susie says, plus, SW, love of her life she wants to be with. Yeah, it would take drastic measures for her to be with the one she belonged with, I think is how that went. I can't remember for sure. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's really sad that 3 years have gone by and there's still so many posting videos running with totally this strange parallel storyline. It's like I am so tired of hearing anything negative about Cindy Watts. I'm tired of hearing anything negative about Ronnie Watts. I'm tired of even hearing anything negative about Christopher Watts at this point. Seriously. Because you know what? I don't think he killed anybody. I think he's afraid for the safety of his family. I think he was threatened. I think he's afraid that whatever happened is going to make somebody else very upset and angry if he tells what he knows. And I don't think that what happened just in a bubble or in a vacuum. I think that he had been dealing with problems with his wife for years. I don't think it was her first time disappearing. I don't think it was the first time that somebody said, check the knives, because I think she may well have had a history of self-harm. And I think if you watch those videos and pay close attention, I think you may agree with me that she also had a history of child abuse in the form of medical abuse, aka Munchausen by proxy. Bella and Cece deserve to have had a thorough investigation into their murders, even if it meant that their own mother may have been the one responsible for their deaths. And on that note, I'm going to take off. We'll do this again soon, you guys. I'm glad you came for the second part of this live chat, and I'll try to catch up with y'all midweek. Can you tell that I have company? The car just came in the driveway. So I got to run. You guys have a great rest of the day. Have a great week. And we'll meet up probably midweek, if not next weekend for sure. So everybody be safe, be healthy, and know that you are loved. Bye-bye, everyone.